Quantification of solid waste in Barangay Sta.Irene, Prosperidad, Agusan del Sur. Introduction. The Republic Act RA 9003, otherwise known as the Philippine Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000, was signed into law. This law provides for the necessary institutional support mechanisms and instructs all local government units to establish an ecological solid waste management program within their jurisdiction. Solid waste refers to unwanted or useless solid materials generated from combined residential, industrial, and commercial activities in a given region. It is classified as domestic, industrial, commercial, construction, or institutional, and on content basis as organic material, glass, metal, plastic, and according to hazard potential, toxic, non-toxin, flammable, radioactive, infectious, etc. Ecologically, solid waste can be categorized into as biodegradable and non-biodegradable and inert waste. Due to the fast economic development and urbanization, the generation of municipal solid waste has rapidly increased worldwide, and the composition of municipal solid waste has also changed significantly. These changes brings more pressure on the existing environment, human health, and also the management of municipal solid waste system. Generally, increased population growth and rising consumers' choices have resulted in a large production of waste worldwide. And the source of municipal solid waste are primarily classified into residential, institutional, and commercial waste. The awareness and that improper handling of municipal solid waste leads to contamination of water, soil, and atmosphere and is a major impact on public health has caused developing nations to address this issue with increasing urgency. In particular, the collection of MSW has been identified as a major problem since many areas municipal authorities are either unable or unwilling to provide waste collection services to all residents in their jurisdiction. On average, up to 50% of residents lack collection services in urban areas of low and middle income countries. There are limited opportunities for the development of a sustainable solid waste management system as government budgets are limited and more than often collection is overlooked. Only the proper disposal of solid waste are perceived as representing a cost. The objectives of the study. The specific objectives of the study are the following: determine the quantification of solid waste management, determine per capita waste generation of solid waste in selected households in Barangay Sta.Irene, Prosperidad, Agusan del Sur.
Significance of the study. This study gives baseline information about quantification of solid waste management. The result of this study will be beneficial to the following. LGU. This study will encourage local government unit to have decisions making and policy formulation about solid waste management. Department of Environment and Natural Resources, DENR. This study will provide information about the quantification of solid waste management in Sta.Irene, Prosperidad, Agusan del Sur. Residents. This study will give awareness to the people who live in the area. Students. This study is helpful to the students to have more better understanding about solid waste management. Future researcher. This research will give them more information and guidelines that will support them in conducting similar study and expanding their understanding of solid waste. Methodology. Description of the study area. Sta.Irene is a barangay in the municipality of Prosperidad in the province of Agusan del Sur. Its population, as determined by the 2022 census, was 6,629. This represented 7.51% of the total population of Prosperidad. Procedure of the study. In this process, these samples are gathered directly from Barangay Sta.Irene, Prosperidad, Agusan del Sur, to determine the quantity of solid waste. The most commonly used technique is called quartering technique. Mixing all the waste thoroughly, expand the waste on the flat surface, divide the waste into 4 parts. From those 4 portions, discard the 2 opposing quarters and then combine the remaining quarters and save for reduced sample. These samples were weighed and percentage and composition was determined. Sample collection should be performed 8 consecutive days. Respondent of the study. The researcher will select 30 household members and randomly chosen and interview in the study, and 1 member per household was interviewed provided that the respondent was at least 18 years old of age. Resources of the data. The researcher will use primary data sources through field observation, and the observation were recorded and was used in the discussion of the result. Statistical treatment. After gathering the data, the result must be analyzed through descriptive statistics such as frequencies, mean, and percentage.
These are the results for the 30 household members in Barangay Sta.Irene, Prosperidad, Agusan del Sur that we randomly chosen and interviewed in this study. The table consists of the house number, family size, the number of waste in kilogram from day 1 to day 7, and the total. In solving the per cap generation rate, divide the total waste to the total people, then multiply 100% in vertical row total from day 1 to day 7. Then add all the result to get the generation rate. The generation rate is 0.38. To get the waste generation rate, the formula is per cap generation rate times total people. Substitute it, 0.38, the per cap generation rate times 135, which is the total people, equals 51.3 or 51 tons per day. The per capita waste generation rate of Sta.Irene, Prosperidad, Agusan del Sur is found 0.38 gram per day. The quantity of waste generation is calculated to be 51 tons per day waste from household.